Here's a paradox that sounds wrong until you feel how true it is. The most genuinely open people are the ones with the strongest edges. We tend to imagine openness and boundaries as opposites, as if to be truly open you'd have to have no walls at all, no limits, no firm sense of where you end. But it's the reverse. You can only truly open to someone if there is still a you doing the opening. And if, in the name of love or closeness, you dissolve into the people you get near, losing your shape, abandoning your needs, blurring until there's no distinct self left, that isn't intimacy at all. It's disappearance, wearing intimacy's face. Tonight, the sky holds both halves of this at once. The moon is a luminous waxing gibbous, August 25th, 2026, about 93% lit, a single night from full, utterly open, showing nearly her whole face, and yet perfectly holding her own round shape. And the sun sits in gate 59, line 3. Openness refined by experience into the wisdom that being open and having boundaries are partners, not enemies. So this is your moon letter about why open people need strong edges. Let's open it. The moon tonight is about 93% lit, almost completely open to us now, nearly her whole face turned to the light, holding back almost nothing. She is about as open as she gets, and yet look at her shape. Even at her most open, she is perfectly, unmistakably herself, a clear, round, distinct disc with a firm edge against the dark. Her openness has not cost her a single degree of her form. She doesn't spill out into the sky, doesn't blur into the darkness around her, doesn't lose her boundary in the act of showing everything. She is maximally revealed and maximally intact at the same time, and those two facts are not in tension, they're the whole point. Her edge is exactly what lets her openness mean something. A moon with no boundary wouldn't be an open moon. It would just be a smear of light, formless, indistinguishable from the sky. It's the firm edge that makes the full face a full face. And that's her teaching tonight, as she opens toward full while holding her perfect round shape. That total openness and a strong, clear boundary are not opposites at all. The most open thing in the sky is also one of the most sharply defined. So can you be? The energy tonight is openness at its peak, but an openness that only works if it's held by form. As the moon nears full and the sun holds the openness line of the intimacy gate, there's a strong current toward giving, merging, letting others all the way in. That current is beautiful, and it's also exactly where the boundaryless get into trouble. Because under the pull to open fully, the person without strong edges doesn't open, they dissolve. They give until there's nothing left, merge until there's no self remaining, say yes until their yes means nothing. Tonight's energy asks for the harder, truer version, to open fully while staying completely yourself. To let the current move you toward closeness without letting it wash your shape away. You might feel this as a tension between wanting to give everything and needing to keep something, and the wisdom tonight is that this isn't a tension to resolve by choosing one side. It's a balance to hold. Open and edged, giving and intact, close and still distinctly you. The energy rewards those who can be fully present to another without vanishing into them. In human design, the sun is in gate 59, line 3. Gate 59 is the gate of intimacy, of dissolving barriers to reach real union. And line 3 is the line of trial and error, of learning through direct experience, the material, experimental line. In this gate, line 3 learns about intimacy by actually doing it, by opening and discovering through the results what works and what doesn't, by getting close, sometimes too close or to the wrong person, and refining its understanding through the bumps. And one of the central things line 3 learns through exactly that trial and error is that openness needs discernment. That being open to everyone indiscriminately, with no boundaries, doesn't produce deep intimacy. It produces chaos, hurt, and a loss of self. The wisdom line 3 earns is a mature openness, the capacity to open genuinely and fully, but with a clear sense of self intact, and with discernment about how much to open and with whom. It's not the naive openness that has never been burned, and it's not the closed guardedness that has been burned and shut down for good. It's the seasoned openness that has been through it, learned where the edges need to be, and can therefore afford to be genuinely open because it knows it won't lose itself in the process. So tonight, Gate 59 Line 3 offers you that hard-won balance, not less open and not walled off, but openness with edges, the kind that has learned, through living, that you keep yourself precisely so that you have a self-worth offering. So let's understand why openness without edges collapses, because for the naturally giving, this is the pattern that quietly ruins their relationships and themselves. The first mechanism is foundational. With no self to open from, opening stops being opening and becomes dissolving. Openness is supposed to be an act, a self choosing to reveal and share itself with another. But that requires a self to be doing it. If you have no firm sense of who you are, what you need, where you end and another begins, then getting close doesn't mean two selves meeting. It means your unformed self getting absorbed into the others. There's no exchange, because there's only one shape left. What looks like the deepest openness is actually the disappearance of one person into another. Second, you merge into the other and lose the very things that made you you. Without edges, closeness becomes a slow erosion of self. Their preferences quietly become yours, their opinions overwrite yours, their needs eclipse yours, until one day you look up and can't remember what you actually like, want, or think apart from them. You've become an extension of another person, and you call it love because it feels like closeness, but it's really the gradual vanishing of a whole human being. Third, endless yielding breeds a quiet, corrosive resentment underneath. Here's what the boundaryless don't expect. Giving everything, endlessly, without limit, does not produce pure love. It produces a slow-building resentment because a self that is never honored, never asserted, never allowed its own needs, begins, however much it denies it, to resent the constant self-erasure. That resentment leaks out sideways, poisoning the very closeness the yielding was meant to protect. Boundaries aren't the enemy of love. The lack of them is, because unbounded giving curdles. And fourth, the hardest truth to say plainly, losing yourself in love is not the height of intimacy, it's the end of it. Our culture romanticizes the total merge, the losing yourself in another, as if it were love's purest form. But intimacy, by definition, is a relationship between two people, and if one of them has disappeared, there's no longer a relationship, just one person and their absorbed reflection. The self you erase in the name of closeness is precisely the self the other person needed to be close to. Dissolve it, and you don't achieve ultimate intimacy. You quietly destroy the possibility of it. Which is why the most loving thing you can do for a deep connection is, paradoxically, to remain fully, distinctly yourself within it. So how do boundaries actually deepen closeness rather than limiting it? Because this is the reframe that changes everything for the overgivers. First, two whole selves can genuinely meet. Two blurred ones just merge into a formless one. Real intimacy is an encounter between two distinct people. The richness of it comes precisely from the difference, the otherness, the meeting of two separate worlds. When both people keep their shape, closeness is a genuine exchange. I offer you my real self, you offer me yours, and the space between us fills with something alive. When the edges dissolve, there's no exchange, because there's no longer two. Boundaries are what preserve the two-ness that makes intimacy possible at all. Second, edges are what let you say a real yes and a real no when it's needed. A yes only means something if a no is possible. Consent requires a self that could have declined. The person with no boundaries can't give a meaningful yes because they can't refuse anything, so their agreement, their giving, their affection all lose their weight. It's only the person with real edges who could say no, whose yes actually carries value. Boundaries don't diminish what you give. They're what make what you give worth having. Third, a clear self is safe to be close to. A formless one, strangely, is not. We might assume the endlessly yielding person is the easiest to be intimate with, but it's often the opposite. A person with no edges is unpredictable in a subtle way. You never quite know what they actually think or want because they only reflect you, and their hidden resentment makes the closeness feel obscurely unsafe. A person with clear boundaries, by contrast, is trustworthy. You know where they stand, you can rely on their yes and their no, and you can relax into the closeness because you're not secretly responsible for holding both selves. Clarity is safety. And fourth, the practical crux. Boundaries keep openness sustainable, so you can keep offering it. Openness without limits burns out. You give until you're depleted, resentful, and finally forced to withdraw entirely, often slamming shut after years of overgiving. Boundaries are what let openness last. They keep enough of you intact that you can keep showing up, keep giving, keep opening over the long haul without collapsing. The bounded open person can stay open for a lifetime. The boundaryless one opens spectacularly and then, inevitably, breaks. If you want to be someone who can offer real closeness, not just today, but for years, edges aren't optional. They're the very thing that makes the openness renewable. So how do you actually stay yourself while opening? How do you hold both at once starting tonight? For moves. First, keep something that's just yours, even in the deepest closeness. In every close relationship, maintain some territory that remains your own interests, your own friendships, your own inner life, your own time, some corner of self that doesn't get merged. This isn't withholding or disloyalty. It's the preservation of the distinct self that makes you worth being close to. The healthiest intimacies are the ones where two people share deeply and each still has a life, a shape, a self of their own. Guard that corner on purpose. Second, learn to notice the exact moment when yielding turns into vanishing and stop there. Giving and flexing toward another is healthy, right up until the point where it becomes self-erasure, and the whole skill is feeling where that line is. Watch for the signs. When you can't locate your own opinion anymore, when your needs have gone completely silent, when you're agreeing to things that quietly violate you. That's the moment yielding has crossed into disappearing, and it's the moment to hold your shape. You don't have to stop being giving, you just have to stop giving away yourself. Third, let a clear no protect the yes you actually mean. Practice in your close relationships the honest no, the ability to decline, to disagree, to state a need, to have a limit. Every real no you're able to say makes your yes trustworthy, and your giving genuine. The no isn't a withdrawal of love, it's the edge that gives your love its shape and its weight. And a relationship that can't survive your honest no is never really intimacy, anyway, just your compliance. And fourth, the deep one, open by choice, each time, rather than by default or by dissolving. The difference between healthy openness and self-loss comes down to agency. Are you opening because you're consciously choosing to reveal and give yourself from a self that remains intact? Or are you opening because you don't know how to do anything else, because you have no boundary to stop the outflow, because you're dissolving rather than deciding? Make it a choice every time. Feel the self that's doing the opening, keep that self intact, and let each act of closeness be a genuine offering from a real person, not the automatic leaking away of someone who never learned they were allowed to have edges. That's the whole art the moon is showing tonight. Fully open and still perfectly, unmistakably yourself. Here is your ritual for staying yourself while opening, a balance of giving and keeping, held on purpose. When the evening settles, step outside and find her. The waxing gibbous moon, about 93% lit, a single night from full, as open as she ever gets, showing nearly her whole face, and yet holding her perfect round shape, her firm bright edge intact against the dark. Let her show you that full openness and a strong boundary live together beautifully. Then, name one relationship where you tend to lose your edges. The connection, a partner, a parent, a friend, anyone where you notice yourself dissolving, agreeing when you don't agree, abandoning your needs, blurring into them, losing track of what you actually want. Name it honestly, without shame. The tendency to overmerge usually comes from a loving place. Next, name one thing that is yours to keep, even inside that closeness. An opinion, a need, an interest, a piece of your time or your inner life. One distinct part of yourself that you will hold on to rather than surrender, precisely so that there's still a you in the relationship. And finally, reaffirm one boundary that will let you keep opening safely. One honest no you'll allow yourself. One limit you'll hold. One place you'll stop yielding before it becomes vanishing. Not to close yourself off, but exactly the opposite. To keep enough of yourself intact that you can go on being genuinely, sustainably open. Walk back inside both softer and more solid. Open like the near full moon, and just as unmistakably yourself. So, let this be the letter you keep from tonight. You can only truly open to someone if there is still a you doing the opening, so keep your edges, especially where you love the most. The moon reaches 93% tonight, about as open as she gets, and she does it while holding her perfect round shape, her firm edge fully intact, showing you that total openness and a strong boundary are partners, not opposites. Openness without edges doesn't deepen into intimacy. It collapses into dissolving, merging, self-erasure, and a quiet resentment that poisons the very closeness it was meant to serve. So keep something that's just yours. Notice when yielding becomes vanishing and stop there. Let your honest no give your yes its weight. Open by choice, from a self that stays whole, rather than by leaking away. Losing yourself in love was never the height of intimacy. It's the end of it because it removes one of the two people the closeness needed. Stay yourself, keep your shape, and open, fully and freely. From there, the way the fullest moon shines with everything she has while never once losing her edge. Thank you for holding both tonight, the courage to open and the strength to stay yourself while you do. A new letter from the sky arrives every single day, and as the moon reaches her full brightness tomorrow night, the days ahead are about fullness, revelation, and being wholly seen without losing your shape. Until then, keep your edges, let your no give your yes its weight, and open by choice.